Listen carefully to what I'm about to tell you, because this will change how you think about money forever and can completely change your life by the end of this year. There's an old saying I learned from my mentor Warren Buffett during a private dinner in Omaha back in 2018. The rich get richer, not because they work harder in December, but because they understand that everyone else stops working in December. Here's the brutal truth about wealth that most people will never understand. While 95% of people are mentally checking out for the holidays, planning their vacations, and basically putting their financial ambitions on autopilot for the final quarter, that's exactly when the top 5% make their most aggressive moves. You see, money doesn't take holidays. Markets don't stop moving because it's Thanksgiving. Opportunities don't pause because someone hung up Christmas lights. But human psychology goes into hibernation mode every October through December. And that, my friends, is the greatest wealth transfer period of the entire year. Before we dive into this game-changing strategy, I need you to do something. If you're serious about building real wealth, not just dreaming about it, but actually building it, hit that subscribe button for cash and consequences right now. And to my existing subscribers watching this, thank you. You're the reason I keep sharing these insider strategies that most financial advisors would never tell you. I'm Franklin, and for the past 15 years, I've been running my own financial consulting firm. I've managed hundreds of employees across 8 different businesses, and I've had the privilege of advising some of the wealthiest individuals in North America. What I'm sharing with you today isn't theory. It's a battle-tested strategy that I've personally used and taught to my private clients. Excuse me, but let me start with a story that will shock you. Last December, I was having lunch with my friend Marcus. He owns a chain of luxury car dealerships across California. Marcus told me something that stopped me cold. Franklin, I make more money in the last 90 days of the year than most people make in 5 years. I thought he was exaggerating, so I asked him to break it down. Look, he said, while everyone else is focused on Black Friday sales as consumers, I'm focused on Black Friday profits as a business owner. While people are planning their Christmas shopping, I'm planning my tax optimization strategies. While they're taking time off, I'm doubling down. That conversation led me to analyze the financial patterns of over 200 millionaires in my network. The results were staggering. Here's what I discovered. The average millionaire makes 34% of their annual income in Q4, not 25%, which would be normal if income was evenly distributed. 34%. That's more than a third of their entire year's earnings in just 3 months. The 3-pillar Q4 strategy. After studying these patterns and implementing them myself for 8 years, I've developed what I call the Q4 Trinity, 3 specific strategies that can realistically generate $500,000 in the final quarter if executed properly. Pillar 1, the holiday cash flow acceleration. Most people think the holidays are expensive. Smart money makers know the holidays are profitable. Here's a real example from my portfolio. In 2022, I identified that luxury watch sales spiked 340% between November 15th and December 23rd. Not watches in general. Luxury watches. People buying Rolexes, Omegas, Patek Philippe's as gifts or year-end rewards for themselves. So what did I do? I didn't go buy watches. That's what amateurs do. Instead, I invested in luxury watch authentication services, premium watch insurance, and even a small stake in a company that makes luxury watch winding boxes. The result? I made $127,000 in 6 weeks without ever touching a single timepiece. The principle here is simple. Don't chase the trend. Position yourself to profit from the infrastructure around the trend. Question for the comments. What holiday spending trend have you noticed in your area that most people are participating in rather than profiting from? Pillar 2. The tax optimization windfall. This is where most people lose fortunes without even realizing it. I learned this from my friend Catherine, who owns a medical device company in Montreal. Every November, she goes through what she calls her tax acceleration checklist. She prepares for business equipment purchases, maximizes her retirement contributions, and most importantly, she harvests tax losses from her investment portfolio. Last year alone, Catherine saved $89,000 in taxes through strategic Q4 moves. But here's the genius part. She immediately reinvested those savings into high-yield opportunities that wouldn't be available in Q1. The Canadian tax system, much like the US system, rewards those who think ahead. While most people scramble in March and April, the wealthy are executing tax strategies in October and November. Pro tip from my 15 years of experience: for every dollar you save in taxes during Q4, you can potentially turn that into $3 to $5 of investment capital for the following year. Pillar 3, the New Year's resolution goldmine. This is the most overlooked wealth-building opportunity of the entire year. Every January, millions of people make resolutions. They want to get fit, learn new skills, start businesses, invest in themselves. The problem? They don't start preparing until January 1st. But what if you started positioning yourself in December to capture that massive wave of motivation and spending? I'll give you a concrete example. My business partner, Jacques, noticed that online course sales increased by 720% in the first 2 weeks of January. So every Q4, he creates and pre-launches educational content that goes live January 1st. His record year? $340,000 in January alone, selling courses about entrepreneurship and financial planning. All because he understood human psychology and prepared while others were celebrating. The key insight: people's wallets open widest when their motivation is highest. And motivation peaks on January 1st. Now let me share with you a valuable data: the implementation framework. Now you might be thinking, Franklin, this sounds great, but how do I actually do this? Let me break down the exact framework I use with my private consulting clients. Phase 1, October 131. Market research and positioning. Identify 3 seasonal opportunities in your market research. The infrastructure plays around those opportunities. Begin building relationships with key players. Set up your tracking systems. Phase 2, November 130. Strategic deployment. Launch your tax optimization strategy. Make your infrastructure investments. Begin creating content for January launches. Network aggressively. People are more social during holidays. Phase 3, December 31. Acceleration and preparation. Double down on what's working. Finalize all tax-related moves. Complete your January 1st preparations. Plan your Q1 strategy based on Q4 results. I remember advising a tech entrepreneur in Toronto who was skeptical about this approach. Franklin, he said, everyone knows Q4 is just about surviving until the new year. 6 months later, he called me from his new vacation home in Whistler. He'd generated $480,000 using this exact framework. The psychology behind the strategy. Here's something most financial advisors won't tell you because they don't understand human psychology the way I do. After managing hundreds of employees, the wealthy think in cycles while the poor think in calendar years. Average people shut down mentally after Thanksgiving. They're in survival mode until January 2nd. But the wealthy? They see Q4 as the most important quarter of the year. Warren Buffett doesn't take December off. Elon Musk doesn't stop working because it's Christmas week. Jeff Bezos built Amazon's entire business model around the fact that Q4 consumer spending creates the most opportunity. I learned this lesson the hard way early in my career. Back in 2008, during my second year as a financial consultant, I made the mistake of following conventional wisdom. I slowed down in November and December, thinking, nobody makes big financial decisions during the holidays. I missed out on $200,000 in commissions that quarter because 3 of my biggest potential clients made major investment moves with other advisors who stayed active while I was mentally checked out. That mistake taught me the most valuable lesson of my career. When everyone else zigs, you zag. When everyone else sleeps, you work. When everyone else spends, you position yourself to profit from their spending. Real-world success stories. Let me share some specific examples from my network that prove this isn't just theory. Example 1. Sarah, the e-commerce queen. Sarah owns a boutique e-commerce business in Vancouver. Every Q4, she launches what she calls her New Year, New You pre-order campaign. She sells products that won't ship until January, but she collects the money in December. Why does this work? Because people are in future self mode during the holidays. They're buying for who they want to become next year, not who they are today. Sarah's best year, $290,000 in December, sales for products that cost her $85,000 to fulfill in January. That's a $205,000 profit margin on future delivered goods. Example 2, Michael the real estate wizard. Michael figured out that luxury real estate listings spike in January because wealthy people want fresh starts in new homes. But most real estate agents wait until January to start working these leads. Michael starts his outreach in November. By the time January hits, he already has relationships with 30-40 qualified luxury buyers. While other agents are making cold calls, Michael is closing deals. His record Q4 to Q1 performance, $420,000 in commissions from deals that originated during his November and December outreach efforts. Example 3, the French connection. I have a colleague in Lyon, France, named Philippe, who runs a luxury consulting business. He discovered that French executives make more career and business changes in January than any other month. It's a cultural thing related to the new year symbolizing renewal. So Philippe spends his entire Q4 networking at Christmas parties and year-end business events, not selling his services, just building relationships. Then on January 2nd, when these executives are ready to make changes, he's the first person they think of. Philippe's average January, $180,000 in new contracts, all from relationships built during Q4 social events. The technology edge. As someone who's passionate about technology and its impact on wealth building, I need to share this critical insight. The tools and platforms that will dominate 2025 are being built and launched right now during Q4 2024. I spend at least 2 hours every day reading about emerging technologies, new platforms, and shifting digital trends. And here's what I've noticed. The biggest opportunities always emerge during the holiday season when most people aren't paying attention. Think about it. Instagram launched in October 2010, TikTok gained massive traction during Q4 2018, Clubhouse exploded during the 2020 holiday season, ChatGPT launched in November 2022. The pattern is clear. While most people are distracted by holidays, technology companies are launching the next big thing. My advice? Spend 30 minutes every day during Q4 researching new platforms, tools, and technologies. The person who identifies and masters the next big platform in December will dominate it in the following year. Common mistakes that kill Q4 profits. After 15 years in this business, I've seen people make the same wealth-destroying mistakes over and over again. Mistake number 1, the holiday spending trap. People increase their personal spending during Q4, which reduces their available investment capital exactly when the best opportunities appear. Mistake number 2, the wait until January mentality. They postpone important financial decisions until the new year, missing the compound effect of 3 extra months of returns. Mistake number 3, the social conformity error. They slow down their wealth-building activities because everyone else is taking a break, not realizing that's exactly why it's the best time to accelerate. Mistake number 4, the tax procrastination disaster. They wait until March to think about taxes, missing all the Q4 optimization opportunities that could save them tens of thousands. I remember a client in Chicago who came to me in March 2019 panicking about his tax bill. "Franklin," he said, "I owe $67,000 in taxes and I don't have the cash." I looked at his situation and realized that if he had implemented just 2 simple Q4 strategies, he could have reduced that bill to $23,000 and had more investment capital. But by March, it was too late. Don't let that be you. Your next steps. Once you finish watching this important video, here's exactly what you need to do in the next 48 hours to start implementing this strategy. Step 1. Audit your current position. Calculate your available investment capital. Identify your biggest tax liabilities. List 3 skills or knowledge areas you could monetize. Step 2. Choose your primary strategy. Pick one of the 3 pillars that aligns with your strengths. Research the specific opportunities in your market. Create a 90-day action plan. Step 3. Build your support network. Connect with other entrepreneurs and investors. Join relevant online communities. Consider hiring a financial advisor who thinks like an entrepreneur. Step 4. Start tracking everything. Set up systems to monitor your progress. Create accountability measures. Plan your daily and weekly activities. Remember, this isn't about working harder. It's about working smarter while everyone else is coasting. The $1,000,000 question. Here's what I want you to ask yourself. What would your life look like if you made an extra $500,000 by March 31st? Would you pay off your mortgage? Start that business you've been dreaming about? Take that European vacation you've been postponing? Set up your children's college funds? The difference between dreaming about financial freedom and actually achieving it is taking action when others won't. I've been blessed to advise some incredibly successful people, and the one trait they all share is this: they see opportunities where others see obstacles, and they take action when others make excuses. Question for the comments. What's one financial goal you could achieve if you had an extra $500K by March? I read every comment from subscribers first, so let me know. Before you click away from this video, I want to leave you with this thought. In my 15 years of financial consulting, I've noticed that people fall into two categories: those who make money work for them and those who work for money. The people who make money work for them understand that wealth building isn't about perfect timing. It's about recognizing that when everyone else stops, that's when you start. The Q4 opportunity I've shared with you today isn't theory. It's not wishful thinking. It's a proven system that I've used personally and taught to hundreds of clients. But here's the thing. Knowing about it isn't enough. You have to implement it. So I'm curious, and please tell me in the comments, where are you watching this video from? Are you in the US, Canada, France, or somewhere else? Because the principles I've shared apply globally, but the specific tactics might vary by location, and I'd love to create more region-specific content based on where my audience is located. And if this video provided value to you, if it changed how you think about Q4 and wealth building, do me a favor. Share it with someone who needs to hear this message. The best way to multiply your own wealth is to help others build theirs. Remember, the Cash and Consequences community is built on the principle that every financial decision has consequences, positive or negative. The choice is always yours. I'll see you in the next video, where I'll be breaking down the exact tools and resources you need to implement this Q4 strategy successfully. Until then, stay wealthy, stay wise, and remember, while others are preparing for the holidays, you're preparing for financial freedom. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our wealth building strategies. Your future self will thank you.